You might think joining an IIM guarantees you a great job, better lifestyle, and clear career path ahead. But there is 70% chance that you are completely wrong about how the placement works here, and 50% chance that even after getting placed, you will be more lost than you were before doing MBA. That's how brutal the reality is. Because here's what nobody tells you when you are grinding for CAT, dreaming about that IIM tag. That placements here are not just about your grades, your resume, or how hard you work. There is a massive luck factor involved. The day you sit for placement, the companies that show up, the senior who has reviewed your resume, the mood of the interviewer. You can do everything right, still end up with a job that you never wanted. Or worse, you can see people with weaker resume land your dream job. And if you are clicking this video thinking about this, then you, my friend, need this reality check more than anyone. Because what happens after placement is the thing that no one prepares you for. But someone who has been through this, I can't let you walk in blind. Hi, my name is Pratik. I am a second year student at IIM Visakhapatnam. I am an engineer. I have worked as a software developer for 2 years. And post my MBA, I would be working as a product manager. 8 months ago, I got placed. And these 8 months taught me more than the entire placement season ever did. So if you are serious about understanding what actually happens at IIM after you get that offer letter, not the Instagram highlights, not the LinkedIn post, but the real uncomfortable truth, keep watching. This video is gonna be different. Four months ago, I got my offer, product management role, good company, everything I thought I wanted. And you know what I felt in that moment? Nothing. Not relief, not excitement, just nothing. Because the entire MBA journey from day one is designed around one single event, placement. Every case study, every networking session, every late night prep, every skill you build, it's all pointing towards that moment. And then it happens, and suddenly you are standing there thinking, okay, now what? It hit me a week after placement. I was walking back from class and I realized something. This is the last time I will ever be a student. Unless I go for a PhD, which, let's be honest, I'm probably not. The final lap. My last moment of hostel life. Sitting in the mess with friends, arguing about random things that doesn't matter. And I have spent the last 2 years so obsessed with placement endgame that I forgot to actually live this. So I made a decision. I'm going to use this last few months differently. Not to coast, not to just wait for graduation, but to actually soak this in. One last time. And this is where the shift happens. When you are chasing placement, you are always in performance mode. Every conversation is networking, every project is a resume point, every skill you pick is the answer to a recruiter's question better. You forget what it feels to just learn, to be curious about something not because it will land you a job, but because it's interesting. After placement, that pressure vanishes, and for the first time in 2 years, you can actually breathe. But here's the problem, you have been running in fifth gear for so long that when the race ends, you don't know how to slow down. You don't know what to do with the silence. Some people fill it with Netflix, some people disappear into their phones, some people just go through the motions until graduation. But I realized something. I have maybe 4 to 5 months left on this campus, and then I step into the corporate world. Meetings, deadlines, appraisals, EMIs, responsibilities, the whole 9 yards. This right here, waking up without an alarm, walking to the beach at 6 am just because I can, sitting in the library not to study but just to read something I'm curious about. This ends soon, and I don't want to waste it. So, what does life actually look like after placement? Let me be honest with you. First month, there's this weird euphoria. The pressure lifts. You start showing up to the classes differently, not to network, not to build your profile, but actually to learn something. And you realize, maybe for the first time, that this is what MBA was supposed to feel like. Not the anxiety, this. But then the euphoria fades, and you are left with a genuine, uncomfortable question. If I'm already placed, what am I even doing here? This is where people split in two parts. Some people coast. I get it, you are exhausted, you have earned the right to relax. But the people I have seen change the most, they use this time intentionally. I started this YouTube channel not for views, not for growth, but because 10 years from now, I want to remember what I was thinking during these months. I started having real conversation, not what's your placement package or which company you are joining, but actually honest 3 a.m. hustle conversation about life, career, ambition, the stuff you can't have once everyone's shattered across cities with jobs and responsibilities. Because here's what hit me. In a few months, this ends. The random campus walks, the ability to just sit and do nothing without feeling guilty. This is the last chapter of my student life and I refuse to sleepwalk through it. I can tell you this clearly, the place version of me is more present, more intentional, and more grateful than the pre placement version. Because pre placement me was always performing for recruiters, for professors, for peer perception. Post placement, I'm just here, actually here, soaking in every bit of this before it's gone. I want to be honest with you for a second. I came from a small town, did my engineering. I wasn't from a premium institute. I didn't have the typical IIM background, and for a long time, even after getting in, there was this voice in my head that said, "You don't really belong here." You know what placement did? It didn't silence that voice. That's not how it works, but it gave me enough evidence to stop listening to it. Because here's what I have realized in this 8 months. The people who do well, not just in placement but in careers, in life, they are not the ones who had the best starting point. They are the ones who stayed curious when everyone else got comfortable. An engineer who understands business, a business student who understands technology, someone who can sit in both the rooms and translate between them. That person is rare and that person is extremely valuable. I didn't know that when I joined IIM. I was just trying to survive. But looking back, every part of my journey, the engineering, the 2 years at Cognizant, the MBA, even this channel, it was all building towards the same thing, a point of view that is genuinely mine. And I think that's what placement actually gives you, not a job offer, not a salary package, but a moment where you stop running from something and start running towards something. That shift, however small, changes everything. If you're going through this, the post placement limbo, the identity question, the what now, I want you to know it's not just you. And if you're still in the grind, still preparing, placement is not the finish line. Start figuring out what you want to be after it. That work is equally important. Drop a comment and tell me where you are in your journey. Seriously, I read them. And if this video gave you even one thing to think about, share it with one person who needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.